Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Sara Albiach on the line, and she's a new business director over at Casanova McCann. Sara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam, for having me.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing as a new business director over at Casanova McCann. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career in business?
Sure. I always had an interest for the communications field, and I like to write, so I majored in journalism and with a minor in communications when I was going to school. And I was on the staff at the school paper, and I got a call one day to go cover a bomb threat on campus. And I think it was, I already had a little bit of doubt as to a journalism career as I was moving to the degree, but I think it was, as I mostly went down to cover the what I thought was nothing than just a fake threat. And as an officer told me to take cover behind some garbage cans because they found the bomb, and I saw the bomb squad taking the bomb out of the building.
Wow.
I think I had an epiphany that maybe journalism was not the glamorous career I had envisioned as an 18, 19-year-old. And I started taking more classes on public relations and advertising and photography, and I found that I'm business, and I found that I sort of really like that as opposed to covering bombs. And when I graduated, I started sending resumes to advertising agencies. I got my start at one of them here in Southern California, and I absolutely loved it. And so my entire career has been at advertising and on the agency side. I've loved every minute of it.
Wow, what an amazing career, and what an amazing way to get into it. You're like, this bomb thing's not for me.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I don't know about this.
I think I need an office. We're okay. I love it.
Exactly.
So that being said, Sara, there's some younger entrepreneurs that are just getting started or, they're just graduating college, some new, future executives that are just getting their feet wet in business. What kind of advice would you give to that new college grad on going out there and pursuing their role?
Oh, well, good question. And we do always have a lot of interns here that some of who we end up hiring. So I would say get a really well-rounded skill set. You don't have to come out of college being highly specialized on anything. Just be well-rounded. You don't really know what you're going to become passionate about really until you go out there and start working. So just try to learn a little bit about everything. And obviously, if you're going to go into the communications, advertising, PR business, digital is the name of the game nowadays. So really get well-versed on that. And really start young, building your personal brand. I mean, that's become so important. Leverage LinkedIn. People are looking at LinkedIn. They're not necessarily always taking time to look at those resumes that you send out, but they look at your LinkedIn profile. They look at your activities. So be mindful of who and what you're following and what you're commenting on and how, and really build your personal brand that way and network, but network in a meaningful way, really make connections, and surround yourself with the right circle. Find mentors, find supporters, and people that you can learn from, and then develop a vision for what you want your career to be. Hard to do sometimes when you're a little bit lost right after graduation. That's okay. It's a piece of clay. You can mold it as you grow and you go along, but really develop that vision and be very clear on your values that are going to serve as a compass as you move on your career.
All great advice there, Sara. I love it. Let's switch it up a bit. I want to get into what you're doing over at Casanova McCann. So first, tell me a little bit more about the business, please.
We're a fully integrated advertising agency, part of the McCann family, and under the Public group of companies umbrella. And we at Casanova, we specialize in multicultural, specifically the Hispanic market. We do total market for some of our brands, but our specialty really is the Hispanic market in the U.S., and we work with a number of national clients like Nestle and Coca-Cola and Chevrolet, and fully integrated, so media, account management, digital, content creation, strategic planning, and again, part of the McCann group.
So what's the sweet spot? So meaning, if somebody's listening to this and they're a potential client, are there any particular niches or size of company that fit best for Casanova McCann?
We really our client roster runs the gamut from very small clients that are perhaps just testing the waters and advertising on a local market basis and on a project basis to a huge client like Nestle, for whom we do advertising work for 18 brands, and some of them on a global basis. So really, it's just a matter of are we the right fit to work together? They don't necessarily. I know there's agencies out there that tell clients, unless you have a retainer of X, we don't want to work with you. That's not our case. We understand that. In fact, we tell clients, you need to walk before you run. If they've never targeted the Hispanic market in the U.S. before, and they need to see results, it's like, let's just do a test market. Let's start small. Let's start learning and measuring and adjusting as we go along. And we like to partner with our clients. So it's not a transactional relationship for us. We really look at it as a long-term partnership. So we're vested along with them. And so, again, our clients run the gamut. Sometimes they want to start very quickly and very big, and some of them are just testing the waters and are a little bit shy about, what's going to be the ROI and how am I going to justify this, and we're willing and ready to walk along that journey with them.
So I know this is going to change from client to client and obviously size of the company, because you work with a large amount of types of companies. But what do you find are some of the common challenges that companies face in trying to implement a great advertising and or a marketing campaign?
I think they all want results right away, right? We all do. And now we have access to that data, so we can measure it. But a lot of it really, when you're advertising to a specific audience for the first time, it just takes time. It just takes time to build that relationship. So I think it's just understanding the audience really well, and that's something that now we have so much data available, and again, we can measure, and there is so much that we know about consumers. But that's changing a little bit, because with the new data privacy laws that are coming into place in 2021, I think we're going to see a need for returning to the more traditional primary research when it comes to consumers. And I think it's really understanding the audience and how they interact with your category and your brand and your competitors. I think that's something that marketers need to be a little patient about and understand that, they might not see results in a month or two, but how do we start building that relationship with the audience over time so that it's long-lasting and, again, not just a transactional one-time offer sort of thing.
That's awesome. So, Sara, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Casanova McCann, what's the best way for them to follow up?
They can go through our website at just casanova.com or reach out to me directly. I'm very easy to find on LinkedIn, Sara Albiach, Sara, and then Albiach, or at my email, sarah.albiach@casanova.com, and we will get right back to them. We're located in our headquarters are in Costa Mesa, and so we're always welcome to visit as well.
All right. Well, hey, Sara, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at Casanova McCann. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Sara, thanks again for coming on the show.